world is full of sin, and evil hides in every corner. No sacrifice is too great for your God, and devotion is taught through the suffering of his people. You play as a Templar, the legendary and righteous order of knights tasked with investigating a mysterious yet powerful temple. You start your journey through the temple halls, which are littered with the wounded who have fallen before you. After a short boss fight, you are quickly slain by a mysterious figure, which begins your eternal pilgrimage in dark devotion. The narrative is simple and covers all the necessary plot points in a traditional Souls-like game. There is little background on the main heroine or the world you inhabit outside of a few scrolls or NPCs scattered throughout its levels. This is forgivable to some extent due to the nature of these type of games, and really unnecessary to enjoy the core mechanics. The main appeal to Dark Devotion is in its art style, difficult gameplay, and boss fights. While we have played games with worse storylines, we found the simple narrative to be a missed opportunity to engage the player on a deeper level. You awake in the central hub of the game named the Filthblood Shelter. This is where you will pick up your quests, purchase upgrades, and equip your armor and weapons. You will die, and die a lot. Each zone has its own traps, pitfalls, and enemies with distinct combat mechanics and animations. A unique feature of this game is its faith resource. As you kill enemies, you will receive a little faith each time. This is used to open secret doors, chests, healing at praying altars, or to cure diseases if you are afflicted. This resource is quite easy to collect and never ran out during our exploration. Dungeon layout is linear, although there is often more than one way to exit a room. You cannot backtrack unless you begin the level from the start, which sets the player on a unique playthrough each time. This is not a game made for casual players. There are no checkpoints. Dying will send the player back to the Filthblood Shelter, and you will lose any weapons, armor, and items you have collected. This can be upsetting at first due to the level of difficulty the game presents. Finding a new piece of armor that gives you a major increase, only to die moments later from a spike trap, can lead to player frustrations. This is all by design. Completing quests and defeating bosses give the player access to new weapons and armor that can be equipped at the start of each playthrough. The game's core philosophy is to learn by dying, and you will have a PhD in mortality by the time you finish Dark Devotion. Combat is simple and contains the standard controls of dodging, blocking, parrying, and attacking. There are no light or heavy attacks as in a traditional action RPG. Instead, you can hold down the attack button to instigate a longer combo that will inflict more damage than a single attack. Weapon styles range from two-handed, dual-wielding, magic tomes, and the traditional sword and shield. Most actions require the use of stamina, including dodging, blocking, and attacking. Stamina management is key to your success or failure in Dark Devotion, so knowing when to block versus when to combo attack is incredibly important. The game world is split into 4 levels, each with their own unique look, enemies, and bosses. Each set of enemies and bosses have their own style of attacking and blocking, so learning how to read their animations will go a long way in staying alive. While boss fights are unique and interesting, they are not as difficult in this game as more traditional ARPGs. The major difficulty resides in the dark aesthetic, which can often hide monsters, traps, and pitfalls that lead to the player's death. Hibernian Workshop's focus on pixel graphics and side-scrolling action works surprisingly well for this genre. The dark and grotesque art direction creates a feeling of dread and despair. Animations are smooth and flowing, while combat feels rewarding. Each block, parry, or dodge gives the player a true sense of safety, while failing at these maneuvers punishes the player with an equal amount of pain. Weapon and armor variations are plentiful and often provide a much-needed boost while exploring. Enemy units and bosses are wonderfully crafted and give a unique sense of approach and definition between them. The dark atmosphere and lack of vision might turn away some players who are used to having their hands held. We enjoyed venturing into the dark and unseen, finding it to be useful in creating a unique yet punishing game experience. The soundtrack properly captures the despair and melancholy in your adventures. Boss fights have their own themes and give a sense of the difficulty that lies ahead. The soundtrack could use a little more variation, but overall adds to the game's ambience. Weapon sounds are satisfying and make the player feel their weight and power. Two-handed weapons sound massive, and hitting opponents feels fantastic. Overall, the sound design does a good job in complementing the art style and direction Hibernian created. The lack of narration and voice work was a missed opportunity to add another layer of immersion into the game. Having to stop and read messages from NPCs and scrolls often interrupted the flow of gameplay and often felt like a chore. Indie games usually suffer from a number of bugs and technical issues at launch, and Dark Devotion is no exception. Hibernian Workshop has done a fantastic job of releasing updates to the game since its launch. The game runs incredibly smooth with short loading times on our machines with solid-state drives. Considering that you will die often, having quick load times keeps the flow consistent and rarely are you pulled away for long. The biggest failure from Dark Devotion is its lack of PC settings. There are no sound, video, key binding, or graphic options in the game. This is shocking for a title released in 2019 and is a major oversight for the small development team. These omissions are surely to disappoint many PC gamers. You will not find an item shop or microtransactions in this game. It is a full and complete game with a friendly price tag of $20. It is available on multiple platforms including GOG and Steam, which is always a huge plus in our review scoring. A crowd-funded indie game staying out of the exclusive market is refreshing and speaks to the integrity at Hibernian. Dark Devotion features more than 250 weapons, armor, spells, and items for you to use and collect. 4 levels to explore, dozens of rooms, and 18 bosses means you are more than getting your money's worth in length of play. Fans of Souls-like games and roguelikes will be satisfied with their purchase. Casual gamers will probably be turned off by the difficulty and skill required by this game and should probably stay away. It's hard to believe that a French indie studio with a budget of 30,000 euros could produce a quality ARPG like Dark Devotion. Hibernian Workshop proves that when an excited fanbase partners with a passionate developer, great things can happen. Although the narrative in Dark Devotion is simple, it is still a great game. Fans of the brutal Souls-like genre and roguelikes will feel right at home. The often punishing but frequently rewarding challenge that Dark Devotion offers is an unusually deeper experience than most games. When you combine its variety of gameplay, polish, and cost, it is difficult to find a better value on the market for a new release. There is no doubt in our minds that Hibernian Workshop's debut will be the first of many exciting games, and we cannot wait to get our hands on their next project. We give Dark Devotion a score of 7.7 out of 10, which places it into the category of outstanding. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest PC gaming news and reviews. And also make sure to visit our website at stonepixel.com.